Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. This is Dosha with DoshaDreams Tarot. Today I'm going to be doing a reading for the sign of Scorpio. My fellow Scorpios, I love ya. I just had a moment where I was like, oh, thank God. Because if I can do a Scorpio reading, I just feel like I don't have to baby things for y'all, and I get the vibe, and you know, I'm just having some moments today. But anyway, so this is for the Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus sign of Scorpio. Remember that all roles can be reversed. The energy can go vice versa. This is a general reading. You know the drill. Basically, this is a timeless reading. If you haven't already, please do like, share, subscribe, and comment. It helps support me and my channel. I'm brand spanking new to YouTube, but I've been doing tarot for a long time, so please do support me and my channel. Today, you got the Bloom Oracle card. This is from the Oracle of Mystical Moments. It's a really beautiful deck. A lot of times there is integration between nature and the figure in the card, which I just find really beautiful. And we're going to go ahead and read from the book and get a deeper message. The main thing that I'm feeling for us right now, because I'm a Scorpio, is kind of coming out of this like Five of Cups energy of like thinking about the past and being upset. And like, granted, when things happen that hurt us, we have to heal from them, and I'm not like a positive vibes only person like whatsoever. So when things are dark and they're dreary, they're dark and dreary, and that's fine. Like, it's okay for us to embrace that energy and to work through it. And I never, I don't ever want to tell anyone how to feel, but what I'm saying is, like, you can get stuck there. Like, I don't know if y'all remember that movie. It was a cartoon. It's called The Phantom Toll Booth. It's crazy how many times I've mentioned that movie and people have not known what I was talking about, but they knew the references from the movie, but are like, what do you mean, The Phantom Toll Booth? I don't know if that was just like an obscure cult classic for like certain groups of 90s kids or something, because I'll talk to people about that. People were like born in the 80s or the 90s, and nobody knows what I'm talking about. Certainly Gen Z doesn't know what I'm talking about, which is like, if you haven't seen The Phantom Toll Booth, it is kind of hard to find these days, but you can find a lot of it on YouTube, like different parts of the movie. But the reason why I'm mentioning the movie, first off, because it's amazing. It's a crazy cartoon. It's really psychedelic, but it's really dope, honestly. It has really good lessons and like messages in it. But one of them is in this kid's adventure, like through this wild, land, he finds a place called the doldrums. And when people say like, don't get stuck in the doldrums, or I'm down in the doldrums, like, we know what that means. But in the movie, in the cartoon, it's like this mucky, like swampy place where that, like, if you go in there, like, you can get stuck, right? And there's like all these little people who live there because they're just stuck in the doldrums, and they're like goopy and and like, so the reason why I mentioned it is because, like, darker, like more negative feelings are totally a part of life. They're inescapable. I don't think that it's healthy for us to suppress our feelings or to pretend like, everything's okay when it's not. But on the flip side of that, those are emotions that are very sticky, and you can get stuck in those emotions, and it can really drag you down, and then you end up imbalanced, or that you're not also experiencing the parts of life that are joyful and meaningful and, fulfilling and everything, right? So with this Bloom card coming back around, I feel like we have been kind of like, and it is winter time. It's actually snowing here where I am right now, and it's beautiful, but at the same time, like, I've been really longing for the spring. And so I feel like this is kind of like where we're coming to now. It's February, we've got a couple more months to go, and we're going to start seeing the springtime, depending on where you live in the world. But here in North America, anyway, spring is kind of like, April, May, right? Depending on where you live in the North America. But anyway, all I'm saying is that that's the vibe that I'm getting for us, Scorpio, and that's the vibe that I'm getting for, us in relation to the world around us. Is, this is kind of like, this is a general reading, right? So this is kind of collective. You could have any Scorpio placement, right? But this is the feeling that I'm getting just for myself personally and for other Scorpios. So I'm going to go ahead and read this card out. So bloom, self-confidence, femininity, individual fulfillment. A woman gazes into your eyes with pride and self-confidence. She knows what she wants, and this certainty blooms out of her being like a bountiful garden. Her hair is thick like the branches of trees, reaching out with controlled abandonment. The power of nature surrounds her, flowing both into her and out from her. What would it be like to feel this connected and confident? What could you accomplish? Your inner strength blossoms into future achievements. It's a really powerful message, honestly. Pretty wild. And, I do like to take myself out of readings sometimes, but with the Scorpio readings, I do feel like obviously I, have a Scorpio sun. And so I do feel like, I do feel connected to these readings, and I also think it actually really helps me to connect with y'all. So I hope you don't mind, but I do feel kind of a personal message here through that about knowing what you want and being confident in what you want, okay? We've got the Eight of Wands at the bottom of the deck. The Eight of Wands is all about fast-moving action and communication, okay? So maybe you're finally being able to communicate what it is that you want. Yes, we have the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is a very self-confident energy. This is like the entrepreneur, the really stable and abundant being. And the Queen of Pentacles also represents, self-confidence, right? I mean, I think the Queen of Wands more often than not does represent kind of like a, that fiery self-confidence, but this is kind of like an assured, stable, kind of secure type of individual, right? So you've also got the Four of Pentacles. And I think that, with this card, the way that I see it also is just being closed off from the world, and maybe even from, like, you see how this is kind of like, it reminds me of Rapunzel, I think that's pretty obvious, right? This person is up in the tower and they've got their hair flowing out, maybe hoping someone will climb up into their tower, right? And I think that it's really interesting because the Four of Pentacles is also like the miser of the tarot, like you don't want to lose anything, so you don't let go, and then when you don't let go, you can't receive anything, right? So you may be in a state of, self-isolation. You may be feeling afraid to connect with others, afraid to, kind of like leave your house. And I mean, that's completely understandable. We're in the middle of a global pandemic. Like, I wouldn't blame you if that's how you felt. And, I think that a lot of people have felt like it's their personal responsibility, to be safe and stay home, which it absolutely is. And I, hate me or love me for it. I don't really care. But I think there comes to a certain extent, it can be unhealthy after a certain amount of time, okay? Because if there's other people who are doing the same thing you're doing, Scorpio, and they're staying home and they're staying safe, well, then you're both safe people, right? So you can connect with each other, and it's safe for you to do that, right? I mean, that's how I see it. And so I think that in order to kind of like fight this, like, isolation blues, I think it's important for you to find and connect with other people who are also living the same way, in the same level of isolation and safety, right? Well, then you're both safe to spend time with each other, like, and I know that anxiety can be difficult, but I just think that it's important to also be able to connect with others, right? So I feel like you're starting to come to that place of understanding. You're starting to want to open up. You're starting to want to bloom a little bit more and kind of come out of, the darkness or whatever you've been in. Now we have the Emperor in reverse. I think that this, to me, really speaks of like oppressive energy. And this kind of is feeling a little bit like in relation to the Four of Pentacles card we just went over, that I feel like you may be sick and tired of oppressive energy, and you might be ready to like throw off the shackles and bloom and be self-confident and connected with the world around you a little bit more, especially if you are like seeing other people just being like extremely reckless at this time, right? Like there's a balance to everything, and I think that you may be frustrated with how much you feel restricted and how much you feel like that might be actually preventing you from feeling confident, feeling healthy, feeling happy, feeling connected, all that sort of thing, right? So yeah, I feel like you're kind of wanting to like, you know, open up a little bit more, but you also know what you want, you know? And I feel like knowing what you want is going to help you navigate that in order to find what it is that you're looking for. We already got a card jumping out. One sec. Oh, High Priestess. This is totally your energy. This is definitely, you know, about you being in touch with your intuition, right? And I feel like confidence in your intuition in the context of this reading. So I feel like your intuition is telling you that it may be time to like open up a little bit. It may be time to, you know, kind of peek your head out and see what's going on in the world, you know. You know, it's so funny. I'm sorry. I just have to share with you. I just saw in these two cards that you see how the Queen of Pentacles, their hair is kind of like flowing down the same way that the Four of Pentacles is. You know? So maybe it's kind of this bossing up transformation is where you're going from being like, yeah, you got the Fool card. Oh. Yeah, I mean, you got the Four of Pentacles coming out on top of the Four of Pentacles again. Oh my goodness, Scorpio. It's not a bad thing when you're in a state, you know, but it's kind of like a poverty mentality or like a scarcity. Yeah, you've got the Hanged One here. That to me is kind of like, ooh, Nine of Pentacles flipping over here. Nine of Pentacles is all about being confident, self-assured, happy on your own. This is about like, you know, kind of like single and thriving, you know. That's kind of how I see that card. So maybe you are single and thriving and, you know, you're kind of like ready to open up and like share that with other people. Okay, you got the Eight of Wands coming out again. I don't know if you remember the Eight of Wands on the bottom of the deck earlier. Yeah, I feel like you're ready for action. You're ready for action and communication, right? You've got the Six of Wands coming out in reverse. So what I'm feeling for you for this, like I almost, you know, because I don't want to be discouraging. So I was like, oh, I don't really want to read it in reverse because it did fall on the floor, you know, like I try to make excuses. But no, I'm going to read it like I've seized it and like I picked it up. Oh, sorry. And that's what I was getting is that the Six of Wands in reverse is really about you feeling like, I don't know what's the word. It's not like you're feeling like a failure, you know, necessarily. It could be that you, excuse me. It could be more so that you are feeling like, I don't know, like you're just not feeling very successful. Let's put it that way, okay? It's not about you feeling like a failure. It's about you feeling like you're not where you'd like to be, right? Yeah, we're always going to want more. We're always going to want to be better. You know, we're always going to want to succeed at what it is we're doing. And if we're not feeling successful, then that can affect our self-confidence and yada yada. But you've got the Fool card here, and you've got so many cards indicating that you are, you know, ready to make a fresh start, make a move, you know, take action, start something new. I kind of already said that, but in a different way. You got the Hierophant at the bottom of the deck. Are you looking for commitment, Scorpio? Okay. Sorry about that. Let's just assess. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. I mean, part of me, okay. Yeah. Okay, my intuition is saying not to take these cards, and I know, but I had to take a moment because I was like, you know, and I'm not going to. Too many. Let's go ahead and go again. And, you know, the thing is, too, with Spirit is that, like, if something is meant to come out, it will. You can always, you can always block, you know, your flow, but you also have to trust your intuition. So, you know, it's just a matter. You can say yes, no, maybe so, da-da-da. Spirit knows what's up and will work with that. Okay. So anyway, that's how I feel about that. So yeah, I don't know, Scorpio. I do feel kind of sad for us, especially if, like, you know, you have been being really responsible and you've been restricting yourself, holding yourself back. Like I said, you could love me or hate me. Ugh, you got the devil at the bottom of the deck. Self-imposed bondage, right? And yeah, that's upsetting. Okay, you've got the Star card. This is really about connecting with the divine, and I feel like this is a wish granted, right? That's what I'm getting is connecting with the divine, getting in touch with your intuition, your self-confidence, you know, blooming, going for your dreams, right? Like, you could be restricting yourself out of fear, you know, and instead of, you know, going for the things that you know that you really want to do. And, you know, like, everything in life is a risk. I just want to also reiterate that, because I do think there's a balance. And so what I'm saying is that, you know, there's risks in life, and, you know, if you feel like you have a once in a lifetime opportunity, but there's also a risk, you know, of, like, contracting COVID, right? For example, and there's other things too, but, like, just for example, right, getting on an airplane, there's always going to be a risk that the airplane is going to crash, right? Like, you know, I'm not trying to be an asshole. You have every right to discern and decide what is a worthy risk for you and for those around you, right? Like, that is the responsible thing to do when you live in a world that's so interconnected with other people. Like, you impact other people and they impact you. So just trying to make wise choices. I think that that's good, you know? But you very easily could be isolating yourself to the point of, you know, like being very defensive. Okay, you've got the Seven of Wands. You could be so defensive, in fact, that you might not even be welcoming to opportunities that are not very risky, or, you know, you might be not open to people who are safe to spend time with, right? Because you just don't trust people. And, like, that's also reasonable, right? Especially people acting the fool out here. It's like, you're like, well, you know, say you're interested in a new romantic, you have a new romantic interest, and you're like, well, is this guy just saying, you know, or this person just saying what I want to hear in order to get what they want, you know, but are they actually being real? Like, are they actually being safe, or is this just all talk, right? So, you know, so I feel like you may be feeling a little bit out in the cold because of this, you know, that you're keeping yourself out in the cold, okay? And yes, that is the case. If you're making decisions where you're choosing to not connect with other people, that is you putting yourself out in the cold, so to speak. Whether or not you're doing it for the right reason or not, you know, that it's still true either way, right? So, you know, I'm not saying whether it's right or wrong. I'm just saying that you might be getting to a place where that you're like, okay, I've been done doing this, you know, excuse my, you know, kind of like, you know, being weird or casual or whatever, you know, I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but, like, I've been doing this. I have been, you know, I have been paying attention to, you know, my choices. I've been trying to be safe, and, like, I'm getting to a point now where, like, okay, like, I've done it, you know. Five of Wands in reverse. I feel like this is about your internal conflict. You know, this could be about conflict with others as well, but what I'm reading is it's more like conflict with, you know, conflicting ideas, attitudes, opinions, perspectives, choices, you know. So let's go ahead and pull some more cards on it and see what's going on. Thank you, Spirit, for all your messages and guidance. As always, we could not do it without you. Holy cow. Is there any way that you could possibly give us some kind of idea of what it is that Scorpio should be doing moving forward? Do you have any advice on what Scorpio should be doing moving forward? We're going to take these and we're going to take this. Okay, I'm going to take it upright because it fell sideways. Yeah, okay. See, you've got the Six of Wands in reverse again, Scorpio. I feel like you are not feeling very successful at this time. And I feel like this is causing you to, like, you're starting to rev up a little bit. You're starting to be like, okay, time to put in some more work, right? That's how you get to where you want to go, Scorpio, is you got to put in the work. And you already know that. I already know you know that because you do all kinds of work. You know, you're doing inner, outer work. You're transmuting other people's friggin' energy. You know, you're doing all kinds of stuff, Scorpio. Like, I know you're no stranger to work, but all I'm saying is that, you know, if you don't feel successful in a certain area of your life, you just need to put in more work there, okay? And you know this. So next you have the Three of Cups coming out in reverse. This to me is saying, like, and this is to answer the question that I asked, like, what should Scorpio be doing? So this Three of Cups in reverse to me is kind of saying, like, maybe you need to be celebrating less. And I know that, like, yeah, this is obviously for a group of Scorpios who's been, like, pretty responsible, you know, but the way that I'm getting it is maybe, like, you've been drinking at home alone. That could be a problem, you know, maybe you need to do less of that. This could be also, you know, for those who are not in isolation per se, maybe you are, but, like, you still have housemates. Maybe you and your housemates are spending time drinking together. This could be also maybe you're, like, dating multiple people, okay? And like I said, I know this is not, I can tell this is for a group of Scorpios who's been, you know, you've been quarantining, you've been, you know, doing all that. So, but I just feel like there's some aspect of your life that has to do with other people that could either be friendships or romantic relationships, or, you know, just maybe entertaining multiple options. I feel like Spirit is saying to dial it back on that level and to maybe not do that. So that's what I'm getting for that card. But the next thing you got coming out is the Four of Wands. So the Four of Wands, I feel like, is telling you that it's important for you to focus on your stability and to focus on your foundations, as in, like, your home life. This could also be maybe something else that you're building with another person. So it's very possible that, you know, you need to be, you know, focusing on just one person that you're building something with, right? That's what I'm getting anyway. Yeah, Scorpio, I just feel like this is really about you coming to terms with yourself, what you want, your confidence, your connectivity, your success. Like, you're trying to, like, open up so that you can, like, welcome people in, or that you can, you know, build something new, start new things, in order to get yourself out of this self-isolated, you know, kind of place where that you're feeling like a lack, or you're feeling left out in the cold, or you're feeling, you know, like you're feeling oppressed, like with this Emperor card in reverse. Like, you know, I just feel like you're getting to a place now where that you're, you know, you've been feeling defensive, you've been doing all this stuff, and you're noticing that it's impacting your success, okay? So that's what I've got for you, Scorpio. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Support me and my channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see y'all next time. Thanks.